Welcome back to Breakfast Television. Winnipeg Film Group shines a spotlight on our city in Stories from the Neighbourhood, screening tomorrow at Cinematheque. Tomorrow night is the third of 4 quarterly screenings of recent local documentaries and will feature 3 films. Some Lots by Lorne Bailey, Kalekis, 81 Years in the Chips by Barry Lank, and Buzz by Angela Heck. Angela joins us along with Cinematheque's Dave Barber this morning. Thanks so much to both of you for joining us.
Good morning.
Dave, this idea of the screenings at Cinematheque tomorrow night kind of comes from the whole idea of MTS Stories from Home on MTS Cable that's giving a lot of great opportunities to local filmmakers. Let's talk a little bit about how that's impacted our city.
Basically, this is a fantastic commissioning project with a lot of credit to MTS and Cam Bennett. And they basically commissioned documentaries on Winnipeg subjects. And the thing that's amazing to me is it sparked fantastic research into Winnipeg history. As a result, these 3 films that are playing. Angela made the film about the infamous Manitoba mosquito. Lorne Bailey made this amazing film where he explored parking lots downtown, which used to have historic buildings on them, and then, of course, Kalekis, the final day of Kalekis when it closed down.
Right, and you're right, that certainly is a great way to look back at some of the cities that make Winnipeg what it is today, even though some of them are no longer in existence. The mosquito, unfortunately, may have been put away for the winter, but is still very much a part of Manitoba. Let's talk a little bit about your film, Angela.
Oh, it's still very much there. You are so right. It's been there since the time of the dinosaurs. It's not going anywhere anytime soon.
And what did you do? Who'd you talk to for your film?
Well, Taz Stewart is one of our key protagonists in this, and he's very entertaining on camera, as you are aware. And the story really came to me because I spent over a decade away from Winnipeg, and in a blissfully mosquito-free place, I have to say. But coming back, you realize how many accommodations we make in Manitoba for the mosquito and for the mosquito in our lives.
It's interesting to look at that, because certainly we may not even realize the things that we're doing and the fact that there's always bug spray in your purse when it's the summer months.
The fact that we have screens on our windows is actually a bit of an anomaly.
Good point as well, certainly. And I want to talk a little bit about Kalekis, that film. A lot of people look back very fondly on a place like that. Let's talk a little bit about what the filmmaker did with this.
Yeah, well, Barry Lank basically, he made a short 10-minute film in the early 1980s on the anniversary of Kalekis. He used some of that footage, and then he went back on the final day when they were closing down, and he has terrific interviews with people who are working the final day, especially Mary Kalekis, and they were quite overwhelmed by the response to the restaurant. It put a lot of pressure on the restaurant because they had to serve all these people. There were endless lineups. Some people couldn't get in. But it shows you how much affection in the community people had for that restaurant. And basically, Winnipeg is a city of loyalties and communities, I feel.
Yeah, you get very attached to some of your favorite places. How has something like Stories from Home been a great resource for you as a filmmaker?
Well, it's been amazing. I think Cam and his team are really almost single-handedly responsible for keeping the documentary community afloat in Winnipeg at this time. It's a challenging environment to keep making documentary films on a national and international level, and he's really done a lot to jumpstart some great stories and really support the documentary community in Winnipeg.
Well, you can get a look at all 3 of those tomorrow night at Cinematheque. Screenings begin at 7 o'clock. Thanks so much to both of you for joining us. You'll probably learn a little something about your city. We're taking a break on BT. Stay with us.
Some that I call the life of a better man.